Okay, our first question is prove that root 2 is what? Irrational. So what we have to do? Assume that our first procedure is what? Assume that root 2 is what? Rational. That is root 2 equal to what? P by Q. Where P and Q are what? Co-prime. It is very important. Co-prime means highest common factor in P and Q should be 1. The highest common factor in P and Q should be 1. There should not be any other number other than 1. The common factor I'm telling, highest common factor. So after that, squaring both sides, you're right, squaring both sides. When we are squaring, left side 2, right side P square by Q square. That is Q square equal to P square by 2. That is 2 divides P square by theorem. This is what we can, 2 divides, not divisible, divides. 2 divides P square meaning P square is divisible by 2. 2 divides P square meaning P square is divisible by 2. Divides and divisible both are different. By theorem, 2 divides P also. This is equation number 1. This is what equation number 2. So what I want to say, if it is coming instead of 2, 3 is coming, root 3, same procedure, root 3 equal to P by Q, where P and Q are co-prime. It is very important that one. Otherwise, teachers will cut the mark. So squaring both sides, you'll get 3 equal to P square by Q square. Then here by 3, that is 3 divides. If any number is coming, that only the procedure. So I hope everyone understood this one. That is P equal to 2C. Why P equal to 2C? Because 2 divides P means P should be multiple of 2. If it is coming 3, P equal to 3C. If it is coming 7, P equal to 7C, like that only. From 1, for some positive integer, C. We people are discussing only positive values, only positive integers C. From 1, replace P with what? 2C. Q square equal to 2C whole square. 2C whole square by 2. Now simplification, many people are making mistake. Simplification. So Q square equal to 4C square by what? 2. You can cut this and this. Then 2 you transpose. So C square equal to Q square by 2. This 2 came down. C square equal to what? Q square by 2. Please write it. Q square equal to what? Q square by 2. C square equal to what? Q square by 2. That is 2 divides Q square. Here 2 came below the Q square. No, that is 2 divides Q square by theorem. 2 divides Q also. Equation number 3. By theorem. 2 divides Q also. By theorem, 2 divides Q also. By theorem, 2 divides Q also. From equation 2 and 3, from equation 2 and 3, 2 divides both P and Q. 2 divides both P and Q. 2 divides both P and Q. Because you can see 2 divides P and 2 divides Q. 2 divides both P and Q. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are co-prime. P and Q are co-prime. P and it contradicts the fact that P and Q are co-prime. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Some people, especially those who have scored less mark, joined late. That is, cannot adjust. If you are not joining, no problem, but don't join late. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. From equation 2 and 3, 2 divides both the P and Q. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, root 2 is irrational. Hence, root 2 is irrational. Hence, root 2 is irrational. Please try quickly. Prove that. One more question we are doing. Prove that root 7 is irrational. Question number third one. Root 7 is irrational. Root 7 is irrational. Question number third one. Root 7 is irrational. Assume that root 7 is rational. Those who are confident, please carry on. No need to wait for me. Root 7 is rational. Root 7 is rational. That is, root 7 equal to P by Q. Assume that root 7 is rational. That is, root 7 is P by Q. Where P and Q are coprime. That is very important, otherwise mark won't be there. Where P and Q are coprime and Q not equal to 0. Q not equal to 0. Next week, out of 40 mark exam will be there. So prepare well. Provision sheet will upload today. The 7th chapter, October plan. What is next? Squaring both sides. Squaring both sides. 7 equal to P square by Q square. Equation number 1. Sorry, equation number 1 later we can write. Then just interchange. Q square move up. 7 came down. This is what equation number 1. That is 7 divides P square. Therefore, by theorem, 7 divides P square. Therefore, by theorem, 7 divides P also. This is what equation number 2. This is what equation number 2. I hope you understood it, how we done. Let P equal to 7C. Let P equal to 7C. Why 7C? Because divides, I told you previously, we wrote a 2C. Now we wrote what 7C. If it is 3, we'll write a 3C. From equation 1, substitute in that one. From equation 1. Okay, camera is ready. From equation 1. I think many people completed that one. So P you replace by 7C. P you replace by 7C. So 7 equal to 7C whole square by Q square. Some people are making mistake. 7C whole square is what? 40, not a 40, 49C square. You can cancel directly from here or after transposing also fine. Yes, 7 will be the Q square equal to C, sorry. This cancellation you can make it after it. Now interchange the position. Q square equal to 49 C square by 7. Interchange how we interchange at the beginning. It is your choice how to do. All the possibility you should know. This and this cancelled. So C square equal to what? Q square by 7. So first we got P square by 7. Second case we should get to Q square by 7. That is 7 divides Q square. That is 7 divides Q square. Therefore, by theorem, 7 divides Q also. Equation number 2. 7 divides Q also. Sorry, equation number 3. From 2 and 3, from 2 and 3, from 2 and 3, from 2 and 3, 7 divides both P and Q. 7 divides both P and Q. 7 divides both P and Q. It contradicts the fact that it contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. It contradicts the fact that P and Q are coprime. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, root 7 is irrational. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, root 7 is what? Irrational. So this is the first type. Now, second type is coming. Second type. Second type means question number 9th one. Question number 9th one. Second type. Most probably such type questions is asking. Question number 9th one. Given that root 5 is irrational, most probably 90% paper if you are checking such type of questions is asking. Given that root 5 is irrational, to prove for root 5 minus 3 by 2 is irrational. This is given that. This we want to prove. For root 5 minus 3 by 2 is irrational. Again, assumption. Assume that sometimes 10 minutes extra will come. Don't worry. At that time, physical class, those who have today physical class, you can come 8:40 like that. We can start. Don't worry, because already this topic we want to finish today. Assume that 4 root 5 minus 3 by 2 is rational. That is by 2 all divided by 2 equal to P by Q. Where P and Q are coprime, and Q not equal to 0. Where P and Q are coprime, Q not equal to 0. You're no squaring both sides. Be careful. You're no squaring both sides. You're rearranging. But be careful. Many people are making mistake. 4 root 5 minus 3 by 2 if it is there. Like that. You see the difference here. By 2 I wrote here all divided. You are not allowed to transpose to other side too without taking LCM. First you should take LCM. If it is all divided by only is there, you have to transpose the other side. Here no problem. Here it is what all is transposing only this type of question. So 4 root 5 minus 3, first transpose 2P by Q. All divided by is there, first you transpose that one to other side. Now after that equal to 2P by Q plus 3. Minus 3 when we are transposing, it will become what? Plus 3. Now take LCM. So it will become 4 root 5 equal to 2P plus 3Q all divided by 3. Sorry, all divided by Q. Anybody have doubt, ask me. First type is what? Squaring both sides. This is the second type. Transposing and rearranging. Now 4 will come down equal to 2P plus 3Q by 4Q. Like that you're right. One side completely irrational, root term. Right side without root term. Now conclusion. It's a 3-mark question only. Conclusion. Given that root 5 is irrational, given that root 5 is irrational, already given that, it will be there in the question, don't worry. Given that root 5 is irrational, as P and Q are integers, given that root 5 is irrational, as P and Q are integers, 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 a riser term completely right. Riser term completely right. That is rational. Riser term completely right. Riser what is written? That is rational. As P and Q are integers, 2P plus 3Q by 4Q, rational. This is irrational. This is what rational. Irrational, and what do you mean by rational division? Number in the form of P by Q. Irrational, what is what? A number not in the form of P by Q. So write down. Rational never be equal to. Rational never be equal to. Rational never be equal to. Rational never be equal to irrational. Rational never be equal to irrational. Rational never be equal to irrational. It's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. Is a contradiction. Is a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. For our assumption is wrong. Hence, it is what irrational. Hence, 4 root 5 minus 3 by 2 is what irrational. So what a conclusion I will tell you. Rational never be equal to irrational. It's a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, 4 root 5 minus 3 by 2 is what irrational. Please check it, all of you. Any doubt? I hope everyone understood this one. If anybody has still problem, I'm doing more questions. Question number 6th one. I think last year board exam asked question number 6th one. Or we can do, okay, 6th one we can do. In that question already given, this is what irrationals will be given, or we know that you can write, you no need to prove that one, okay? Question number 6th one, it will be given that root 3 is irrational. Or we know that root 3 is irrational, that also you can write. We know that root 3 is what irrational. We know that root 3 is what irrational. We know that root 3 is irrational. To prove 2 minus root 3, 5 is irrational. Salil, what time is the class, Salil? 2 minus root 3 by 5 is what? Irrational. 2 minus root 3 by 5 is irrational. Salil, what time is the class? That is 2 minus root 3 by 5 equal to P by Q. Q not equal to 0, where P and Q are what? Co-prime. Where P and Q are co-prime. Amin Sabak, what time is the class? If you are not coming on time, better no need to stay here. 2 minus root 3 by 5 equal to P by Q. Q not equal to 0, where P and Q are what? Co-prime. Where P and Q are what? Co-prime. Same statement only. Now first all divided by is there, you transpose that first. 2 minus root 3 equal to 5 P by Q. Now better, my suggestion, there is a minus root 3 is there. But here actually, here plus root 5 is there. That's why I kept this one. It's not important, but that's better. A small rearrangement. 2 minus 5p by q equal to root 3. Minus root 3 I transpose to other side. And 5p by q I transpose this side. Now you take LCM. This one get multiplied. 2q minus 5p by q equal to root 3. Equal to root 3. LCM I took. Finish. Now what you can say? Given that root 3 is irrational, or you can write, we know that root 3 also irrational. Like that also you can write. We know that root 3 is irrational. We know that root 3 is irrational. We know that root 3 is irrational. As p and q are integers, as p and q are integers, 2q minus 5p by q is rational. 2q minus 5p by q is what? Rational. It's a contradiction. The same statement what you wrote in the previous, it's a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. It's a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Therefore, 2 minus root 3 by 5 is what? Irrational. So I hope you understood this question also. Next question I'm doing. Question number 10th one. 10th one. After that, I will do 8th one. Question number 10th one. You no need to wait for me. Beginning part only I'll give you. Remaining conclusion and only you'll write it. All the statements are same. So everything repeating, we don't have time. 10th one. Given that root 2 is that one. Okay. 10th one, only the starting part. By 7 equal to what? P by Q. Q not equal to 0. P and Q are what? Co-prime. First we can transpose 7. You no need to wait for me. Here positive 5 root 2, let be there. So we can transpose 3. Minus 3. Take LCM. 7p minus 3q by what? Q. Now 5 you transpose by 5q. Given that it is what? Irrational. This is as p and q are integers. This is what? Rational. Finish. Rational never be equal to irrational. It is a contradiction like that people can write. Only hint only a given. Completion you can do later. You leave the space for that one after writing the hint and all. Next I'm doing question number 8th one. Question number 8th one. Question number 8th one. Question number 8th one. Given that root 3 is irrational. Given that root 3 is irrational. To prove 5 minus 2 root 3 by 7 is irrational. This is what you want to prove. To prove 5 minus. We'll do that also, don't worry. First let me stage base. We'll do that also. After finishing only, we'll make it. We'll do 3 more questions after this. 3 or 4 questions. Maybe 750, 755. Physical class, those who are today more. Today, if anybody needs can attend. First batch class is there 8:30 to 10:30. Even if you're coming 8:40 also now. So what will write? 5 minus 2 root 3 by 7 equal to what? P by Q. So first you take LCM. Without taking LCM, don't transpose. Some people say can be okay, of course you can transpose this term all together, no problem. But use a common strategy, that is better. Otherwise, get confusion will be there. First multiply with this. So 35 minus 2 root 3 by 7 equal to P by Q. Statement and everything you should write. Q not equal to 0, P and Q are co-prime. Now the normal procedure. 35 minus 2 root 3 equal to 7P by Q. Now there is a negative term. This you can transpose. 35 minus 7P by Q equal to 2 root 3. Actually, another method, this completely you can transpose. Why I'm not, everywhere we can use a common strategy. That's better. So LCM you take here. This is get multiplied. 35Q minus 7P by Q equal to 2 root 3. Now 2 will come down. 2Q equal to root 3. Same conclusion. Given that it is irrational as P and Q are integers, this is what? Rational. So all the letters and everything, so it's a contradiction, therefore our assumption is wrong. Hence, this is what, like that you can proceed. Next, fifth one, hint only. Fifth one, hint only. Fifth one, 4 minus 5 root 2 equal to p by q. Again, the rearrangement, 5 minus p by q equal to what? 5 root 2. Because p by q you can take this side. Now here you take LCM. 4q minus p by equal to 5 root 2. This is the fifth question hint. Everyone should do. I'll check your notebook whether you completed or not. Same statement, irrational and rational. So I hope everyone understood this type of questions. Next, we are doing 13th one. Last year board exam, your paper asked. 13th one, standard paper. 13th one. 13th one. Already given root to 6 is irrational. 13th one. Similar type of chances that to ask in your upcoming school exams and all. 13th one. You read the question 13. Now this completion you do later. 13th one. The remaining question completely you do. I given the hint, So some questions I given hint. Everything perfectly, all the 13 questions you have to do. All the 13 questions. That is what I need. And some question, if you are doubt repeatedly, you have to do. Question number 13th one. Given that root to 6 is what? Irrational. To prove root 2 plus root 3 whole square is irrational. Root 2 plus root 3 whole square is irrational. Simple only. To prove root 2 plus root 3 whole square is irrational. Assume that root 2 plus root 3 whole square is rational. That is, root 2 plus root 3 whole square equal to what? P by Q. Q not equal to 0. P and Q are what? Co-prime. The statement is important. Now you expand a plus b whole square. What is a plus b whole square? A square plus b square plus 2ab, or a square plus 2ab. Everybody knows, I think. Root 2 square is what? 2. A square. Root 3 square is what? 3. Then 2ab. Anybody have doubt? Let me know. Last year board exam for 3 mark standard paper asked. Root 2 square is what? 2. Root 3 square is what? 3. Then 2ab. A plus b whole square, a square plus 2. Now, this is 5 transpose. 2 root 6 equal to p by q minus 5. Take LCM right side. So it will be p minus 5q by q. That is 2 root 6. So root 6 equal to p minus 5q by 2q. 2q. So what we can write? Same conclusion. Given that this is what? Irrational, as p and q are integers, this is what? Rational. You write that conclusion. Given that p and q are root 6 is irrational. Given that root 6 is irrational. So I hope you understood the second type. Now third type we want to discuss. 2 more questions. Third type we want to discuss. Third type we want to discuss. Third type. Conclusion you wrote, I think. Everyone should write conclusion. I'll check your notebook up on classes. I don't. Third type. I think recent Pearl exam I asked, I think. Question number 11th one. Right, it is a contradiction over our third type. To prove, question will be there, given that root 2 and root 3 irrational, that statement will be there. After that, only you have to do. Here also, if you want, you can do the step what we done before. That also applicable. Squaring both sides like that, you can write it. Right on. To prove, question number 11th one, root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. To prove, root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. So it depends on the question. Sometimes they will give what? Root 2 and root 3 irrational. So it's up to you, I'll tell you. That is root 2 plus root 3 equal to p by q. Q not equal to 0. P and q are what? Co-prime. Every question starting statement same only. Squaring both sides. Scoring, but previous question what already they given in the square form. Okay, like that also they can give. Of course, that depends. Squaring both sides. What happen when you're squaring? A square plus root 2 square is what 2, root 3 square is what 3, then 2ab equal to p square by q square. We squared. Previous question what already they given the square. Already they given the square, so right side we didn't write the square. Right side we didn't write the square because already left side they given in the square form. Question itself like that. But here we wrote the squaring both sides. That's why right side is squared. So 2 root 6 p square by 1 minute. Two methods are there. I'll tell you. This is the first method. Minus 5 root 6 equal to the same procedure what we done 2q square. This is the same way how we done. Just wait. No, not like that. Wait. This is the first method. This is the first method. What we done like this only same conclusion. If what root 6 is irrational is given, root 6 is irrational given, this method you can apply. But we are not using this method. This is also fine. If you're writing this also correct. Depends. Sometimes in the question root 6 irrational will be given. So we know that it is what irrational as same conclusion what we wrote. But sometimes it's the question you write or. You please complete it. Or. So based on question you have to answer all the possibility you have to check. Given that root 2 and root 3 are irrational. In the question it will be like that. If it is given like that, how to do? Given that root 2 and root 3 given that root 2 and root 3 are irrational, to prove root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. To prove root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. Assume that root 2 plus root 3 equal is, you already wrote, I think, root 2 plus root 3 is what? Rational. Same statement. That is equal to p by q. Q not equal to 0. P and Q are what? Coprime. P and Q are what? Coprime. What you have to do this case? Don't use this method in this case. First you transpose either root 3 or root 2. It is your choice. I'm transposing root 3. You can transpose either root 2 or what? Root 3. Squaring both sides. Squaring both sides. Squaring both sides. Root 2 when you're squaring 2. A square minus 2ab plus b square. B square root 3 square is what? 3. A square minus 2ab plus b square. After this rearrangement, this root term you bring left side. Hello? Hello? Sorry. So this root term I transpose left side and all of the things completely right side. Plus 3 minus 2. Plus 2 when we are transposing is what? It is minus 2. Root term I kept one side. So you'll get to left side will be 2p by q root 3. Anybody have stepped out, let me know. Plus 1. Plus 1. Take LCM. Take LCM. Take LCM. This is get multiplied. So 2p by q root 3 equal to p square plus q square by q square. You can cancel this q and this q directly. So root 3 equal to p square plus q square by 2pq. 2pq. Because left side one 2p you can see 2pq. So what you can write? Given that root 3 is irrational, as p and q are integers, As P and Q are integers, this is what rational. It is a contradiction. Is it? It is a contradiction. Given that root 3 is what irrational, you should write that one. As P and Q are integers, this is what rational. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, it is a contradiction. It's a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Hence, this is what irrational. Hence, it's what irrational. Root 3 is what irrational. The ends root conclusion everything. Therefore, root 2 plus root 3 is what irrational. There is one more question is there. Just giving the hint. You people can try by yourself. Root 2 minus root 3. Hint only I'm giving. First root 3 you transpose. So here plus will come. Then squaring both sides. Same way you can do plus. Then same procedure you have to do. So I hope everyone understood this topic. So practice. Again, you practice at least 10 to 15 minutes spent for this one. Okay. Everything I want to see in your note. Separate notebook it is there. That will be great. Okay. That's all. Right. Take care. Everything practice.